Stage idea number 3, the NES Montage. Games, various NES slash Famicom games. Version Wii U. Now, the idea of me wanting to, like this stage, me thinking about this stage and coming up with the idea for this stage basically stems from the fact when we saw that Game Boy stage for the 3DS. Now, whether that stage is rumored to be exclusively Kirby based or if it's going to switch through different various Game Boy games is its own other thing. I wanted to go with that idea and come up with how I would do that in a console version. Like, what would I do with console based? They picked the original Game Boy on that. I'm going to pick the NES. I'm going to pick the Famicom. And I picked this stage as a throwback of nostalgia for classic NES Famicom games, and it's basically like a stage that pays tribute to different games from the NES and Famicom. Now, how would this stage work? How would this stage be playable? How would it fit? How would it work? I'm basically going to say the stage starts off when you start the game. You actually see the TV that you're playing on. It's going to be an old classic 80s TV, and the picture will be bigger than probably what the picture you see in there is. Like, you'll see more of the screen rather than it being so small that you can't really probably see your characters playing on it as much. Like, it'll be a little more zoomed in to you on the screen a little bit. But basically it's going to show the stage off by this old classic TV and the NES by the system being turned on. Obviously they probably won't show the system, so you can kind of get away with it being a Famicom as well in the Japanese version. But the system gets turned on, it will play the little logo or whatever, and the game will start playing. And it will basically play through various classic NES games. Like, the games will actually play in the background, and you're going to have to, as the characters in the map in the Smash Brothers game, play each other while trying to survive that game. So obviously, various stages will be moving stages. Practically all the stages will be moving stages. It won't be a standard stage that you're on that's going to stand its ground. It's going to be moving like Mushroom Kingdom was in Brawl, or Port Town, or the Poke Floats, or any of the stages from past Smash Bros. Games that moved when you were playing on them. And basically I picked 6 specific NES games, Famicom games, it's going to pay tribute to, and those are Super Mario Bros. 3, Zelda 2, the original Metroid Kid Icarus, Kirby's Adventure, and the NES version of the Donkey Kong arcade game. The stage hazards will be obstacles specifically from those games. So when you're playing on Donkey Kong, like the little bear, like the fires and the little things Donkey Kong would throw, the little like whatever, I forgot the objects he throws. Kirby's Adventure, all the different enemies that will pop up. Kid Icarus, same thing. Metroid, same thing. Zelda 2, same thing. Mario Brothers, same thing. Like pits, you can fall in the pits. You can fall in the lava. You can fall in all the different stuff between all these games. Like, the stage hazards will specifically represent those stages. And basically, the stage changes as you play. Like, think WarioWare from Brawl, the WarioWare stage from Brawl, like how it randomly changed as you played it. And basically, when it switches the game, obviously when you play like an NES or any video game system, when you want to switch the game, you're going to turn it off and take out the game, put in another one. The system is turned off, so the screen's going to go into that fuzzy state. It's going to go into like a fuzzy screen. You're still playing, but you can't see your character. You can still move, but you just can't see where you're going. And then once the player behind the screen puts in the new game will pop up, and it's not going to be in a specific order like this order, like, it's automatically Super Mario Bros. 3, Zelda 2, Metroid. Whenever you start the stage, it could be random. You could start the stage one time, it could be Zelda 2. You could start the stage another time, it could be Kirby. You can go from Kirby to Metroid, you can go from Kirby to Kid Icarus the next time, you can go from Kid Icarus to Mario. Various different, ways of going about it, and basically each stage has its own little stage hazard. Each game has its own little stage hazard that you have to live and survive through, basically. And I think this would be an original idea, interesting idea, because it kind of pays tribute to a few classic games, and kind of like how the Game Boy version looks like it's having a Game Boy stage, Game Boy stage on a 3DS version. This would really be kind of an interesting, unique idea, I believe. and it kind of throws. But and I basically, for people out there who probably are saying why I picked Zelda 2 over the original Legend of Zelda, I was basically going for side-scrolling games because it would be kind of weird having these characters play on a top-down Zelda original stage. That's the reason why I picked Zelda 2. And then the original Metroid obviously is classic. Chris, Kirby, Donkey Kong, Mario. They're all side-scrolling games, so they all work in that field, like for a Smash Bros. Type thing. Just in case people are wondering why I picked Zelda 2, because there aren't really that many people that really like that game. Okay, so what about song ideas for this stage? Well, I basically came up with 8 ideas, and most of these would be specific to certain games that you're playing. Like this is the type of stage that the music that plays is variant on what version, what game, what part of the stage you're actually playing on. The first theme is basically the Mario Athletic theme from Super Mario Bros. 3. When you're on the Super Mario Bros. 3 stage, that's the song that's going to be playing. The Overworld theme from Legend of Zelda 2 will be the song that plays when you play that level. The Bryn Star theme from the original Metroid is when the Metroid theme game is on. The final stage of Kid Icarus will be the song when you're playing Kid Icarus' stage. Vegetable Valley is the song I picked for Kirby's Adventure. I could have went the simple route and picked Green Greens, but that song is probably going to be in every other Kirby stage in the games, so I wanted to go and pick Vegetable Valley because that's also another pretty iconic, pretty interesting, cool, awesome theme from the Kirby games. And then I picked the standard stage theme from Donkey Kong, when you're playing the NES game, the background music. Now those are specifically for those games. But I wanted to think of it a little bit more, so I picked the 7th and 8th theme. Now, these 2 songs are a bit different in that they're alternates to those themes. Like, these songs could play on these various versions of the stage, these games of the stage, as alternates to those. Like, those are probably the main themes that you'll mostly always hear, but occasionally you're going to hear a different song. And the first song I basically thought of was basically was Ice Hockey in-game theme. And this is going to be an alternate for the Kirby, Donkey Kong, and Mario Bros. 3 stages. Like, you might not hear, the stage theme from Donkey Kong. You might not hear the Mario Athletic theme or Vegetable Valley. You might hear the Ice Hockey theme while you're playing. And it's a little throwback to the old Ice Hockey game from the NES. The other theme is the Mack Rider Race Theme 1, and this is an alternate for Zelda, Metroid, and Kid Icarus. Instead of hearing the Overworld theme from Zelda, the Bryn Star theme from Metroid, or the final stage theme from Kid Icarus, you're going to hear the Race 1 theme from Mack Rider. So this is a stage that the music is based off of what you're playing, and it's not always songs from those games. It could be these 2 alternate songs as well. That's my thoughts on the NES Montage, Famicom Montage stage for a stage in Smash Bros. 4. I hope you guys liked the video. Put in the comment section what you guys think. Peace. Please subscribe if you want to. And I'll see you guys later in the next video.